Yeah, come and take a look at the snow. Bright white as far as your eyesight goes. Come and take a look at the fields of snow. I'll just get my coat, then we're good to go. Come and take a look at the lake. Let's have a quick skate before it gets late. Come and take a look at the frozen lake. Put your clothes on, mate, don't make that mistake.
Greetings, holiday shoppers. There are now 17 days left until Christmas, and I believe you know what that means. That means it's time for another episode of Christmas Creeps, your one-stop shop for holiday movies and TV shows all year round. Hi, my name is Joseph Wade. I will be your host for this evening. Here with me tonight on this pre-Christmas Yuletide episode of Christmas Creeps are my co-hosts, Johnny Five, the human robot.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, John?
Fuck you.
Fair. I deserve that. I really do. And Mr. Bradford is here as well. Brad?
Welcome to Christmas Creeps Late Night.
Welcome to Christmas Creeps XL.
I'm cranky. This is past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we typically record all these shows Sunday afternoons. Instead, this is Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And yeah, this is different for us. It's a different mood, I think.
I'm drinking at a socially acceptable hour for once.
Hey, wait a minute. So am I.
This is how you know it's going to get right, and then it's going to get too right.
It's going to get ribbled and raucous.
Much like this movie. No, not like this movie.
Not at all like this movie tonight. Tonight's movie, folks, is the 2004 DreamWorks Christmas comedy Surviving Christmas.
And we use all of those words very loosely. No.
It's the Walmart brand version of all of those things. But before we get into Surviving Christmas, guys, how's your this is stupid to say on December 2nd, but how's your December going?
I haven't put up my tree yet.
You what?
I haven't gotten a tree yet.
What's wrong with you?
We're gonna do it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
You know how it is. We got a baby. We still haven't even figured out how to 1-year-old proof a tree. Still gonna figure that out as it kind of develops. But also, wife's working this week, so
may I offer a suggestion?
Don't.
No, this is a genuine, like, actual suggestion.
No, I'm saying don't do a tree. Is your suggestion?
Oh,
no, go.
Oh, no. Halfway. Go do half a tree and put it up on like a curio or nightstand of some kind.
Yeah, we were thinking about that. We'll figure it out, or just not decorate the lowest part except with lights.
Make the tree generally too tall for the baby, or failing that, just plaster your ceiling with Christmas shit.
That's one way to do it.
I'm sure your family would appreciate that.
No, our real plan as of right now is we've been saving the biggest boxes, like when we get toilet paper or something.
Yeah.
We save the biggest boxes and we're going to wrap those with wrapping paper and like set them in front of the tree and make a barricade out of big fake presents. It's not going to look good, but whatever.
That's
just honestly, 1 year.
Honestly, a pretty decent idea, though.
I cannot claim credit for it. This is from the internet, so.
Holiday hacks from your friends at Christmas Creeps. Jonathan, what about you? How are you? How are you post Thanksgiving?
I still have the Halloween decorations up from last year.
I mean, that's fair. If anything, this year has warranted, just chasing your bliss. So if last year's Halloween makes you happy, then I say go for it.
Having to do stuff makes me like, what's the opposite of happy?
Sad?
Yeah, doing stuff makes me sad. So I try not to do stuff.
Doing stuff short circuits your programming, and we can't have that.
Yeah.
You don't short circuit programming. What am I talking about? Hey,
well, you can program short circuit. Is Short Circuit a Christmas movie?
Maybe. I mean, whenever I see a Christmas tree and it's in January, all I can think is no disassemble. But that's just me. So we're all clearly in a very bad headspace this week because
fuck you, Ben Affleck. You fucking ruined my evening.
Yeah, J5 is coming hot right off of this film as we're recording this, and so you've got the the hot takes ready to go. So hey, let's leap into Four Christmases. Not Four Christmases.
Oh God, I'm flashing back.
It honestly could have been literally any film.
Oh,
15.
how'd you make that mistake? Oh, you started watching the movie and it's like, hey, let's go to Fiji. No, let's spend it with our shitty fucking families instead.
Yeah, this is a super duper flashback to like our earliest episodes of like Christmas with the Cranks crossed with reindeer games. Because hey, guess what? This time Ben Affleck wants to go to Fiji.
I don't think I've seen. I think this is the first film that I've seen with Benjamin Affleck. Benjamin Affleck. I don't think I've seen any of his other films.
I mean,
the only thing I've seen that he was in, which I just found out, is Voyage of the Mimi, which we watched in like 5th grade.
What's
So that's my not seen any Kevin Smith films?
I have not seen. I don't think I've seen a Kevin Smith film.
Bradford, back up. What the fuck is Voyage of the Mimi?
Voyage of the Mimi was an edutainment TV series from 1984 where it's a bunch of kids they're like on a ship and they're doing like a science expedition, and what it'll do is like the first half of the episode is the adventure, and then the back half of the episode is like, here's the science, here's how a coordinate system works, or here's the evolutionary line of whales, or here's how echolocation works.
Huh, okay. So it's like a legitimately educational series.
Oh yeah. It would like
Okay.
it's not like Bill Nye the Science Guy where, you know, the substitute teacher rolls in the AV cart and pops it in and then just sits in the back of the room the entire time during literature class or something. No, it was legit.
It's not like my 11th grade physics class where the teacher just gave up and started making us watch Mythbusters.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Bill Nye is not legit, but this was yeah. This was like, it had a curriculum. Like we had Mimi worksheets.
Oh wow.
Now granted, this was like more than 10 years after this came out, but whatever. Not science didn't change that quickly back in the late 80s and early 90s. Kind of. I also want to say it was on Laserdisc.
Well, you just said the magic words, and now I have to go look up Voyage of the Mimi on Laserdisc. But also in my Googling of Voyage of the Mimi, I did run across a photograph of a very young Benjamin Affleck. And wow, I'm flabbergasted.
There you go.
Of a young Ben Affleck at the age of 12 with like a stupefied, like dumbstruck look on his face.
Oh, so his normal face.
Yeah, and like it's like exactly the movie we watched this week because that's him for 90 straight minutes.
Oh God.
Okay, so before we talk about surviving Christmas, I want to give you some stats about this movie real quick, okay? Because this was a big hit back in 2004, and I'm using all the scare quotes in the world. Came out October 22nd, 2004.
Why?
We got a movie. We're sitting on the movie. We got to put it out. 7th at the box office. Made $15 million on a $45 million budget. Less than 2 months later, it hit DVD December 21st. And at the time, I remember a friend calling this the film that set the land speed record for going from theater to DVD. Nobody watched this movie.
I want to say From Justin to Kelly was still faster.
I mean, you're probably right. But like, so the weekend this came out, I want to take you through the top 10 movies from October 22nd, 2004. Okay.
Please do.
This is like just the portrait of mediocrity. Number 1 at the box office that weekend was The Grudge. That weird horror film that's kind of sort of a knockoff of The Ring, but not really.
Was it? I want to say, wasn't there a Japanese version of this is the American version of The Grudge.
Yeah, this is the American remake.
Okay.
Yeah. The Japanese version's pretty good. Second place, the DreamWorks animated film Shark Tale.
Oh, God.
Fuck off.
Number 3, the Richard Gere dancing movie Shall We Dance?
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Number 4, the film that Friday Night Lights is based on, also called Friday Night Lights.
You're making this, like, I don't know. Granted, I was in high school, so probably wasn't tuned in to all the great... Go on. Sorry.
Number 5, a film we've talked about on this podcast before, Team America World Police.
Okay.
Number 6, the John Travolta firefighter movie, Ladder 49. I'm actually kind of assuming he was in that because I don't remember. Number 7 was Surviving Christmas. Number 8 was the Jimmy Fallon movie Taxi with Queen Latifah.
Was it based on the television show Taxi? Was it like a reboot?
It's based on the French movie Taxi.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a whole series of action movies called Taxi.
Right.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember this one. Okay.
And then, number 9 is The Forgotten, which I actually, the title is appropriate. I do not remember this film at all. And then number 10, I Heart Huckabees, which... God. Hey, David O. Russell, what's up? That's October of 2004. So then Surviving Christmas lands smack in the middle of all of this.
All right, I know how this game works. The one you made up was the Richard Gere one.
You know what? Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to say you're right and you win the prize. The prize is, Jonathan, you get to now explain the plot of Surviving Christmas. Congratulations.
All right, who gets the money?
Who gets the money?
Yeah, who's paying up? Who's paying and who's it going to?
I paid last time.
Oh, no, I'll pony up. I'll pony up this time. I'm going to say this one's going to go to a food bank because,
all right,
man,
yeah,
it just feels appropriate. This one's going to Second Harvest Food Bank. Okay, Jonathan, are you ready?
1 second.
As ready as he'll ever be. By the way, if you're just now joining us, what we do on this show, I will give Jonathan 60 seconds to recount the plot of this movie that he literally just watched. And any time left on the clock, I will donate that dollar amount to a charity of our choosing. Last week, the charity went to Swap USA, and we put that on our Twitter just this afternoon. And when J5 is ready, we will get rocking and rolling.
I just picture him like warming up, kind of jogging in place a little bit, psyching himself up.
It's basically the start of Die Hard 2. All right. There you go. Took me a second.
Good Lord.
No, nothing is the moon for a heist like just naked calisthenics.
Okay. Jonathan, are you for real ready this time?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Surviving Christmas in a minute. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ben Affleck plays an asshole that works for an ad agency. He pisses his girlfriend off at Christmas. He decides he needs to go back to his childhood home and try to reconnect. He also completely regresses to being a child, pisses everybody off, and then because it's a movie, it all works out in the end, and Christine Applegate kisses him.
All right, well, that's 19 seconds. So
I'm going to say, for those of you listening at home that have not seen this movie, he didn't really miss anything. He kind of actually got it all.
There is exactly one plot point that he missed, but we'll get to it because it's kind of the whole movie. But also, I'll give it to you. 19 seconds. So that's what, $39? We'll go
41 there, boss.
Good God, my math skills have just plummeted lately.
I'm half a tall boy deep, and I did that. No, I'm just...
Yeah, $41 going to the Second Harvest Food Bank. So we'll put that on our Twitter a little bit later. Okay, so the thing that Jonathan neglected to mention about that is that when Ben Affleck's character goes to this house, goes to his childhood home, there is a different family living there, and he decides to pay the family $250,000 to pretend to be his family until Christmas. That's the movie. So the first half hour of Surviving Christmas is like a Saturday Night Live sketch that's gone on 20 minutes too long.
So 20-minute Saturday Night Live sketch. Hey.
Yeah, especially that really terrible period of SNL where it's like the entire sketch was a catchphrase, like Adam Sandler era SNL.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
Opera Man or Canteen Boy.
Yep.
It's just Rob Schneider saying making copies for an hour, basically.
Oh.
So, I mean, yeah, the whole movie is Ben Affleck's a crazy rich dude who decides to go home for Christmas because he's lonely and his girlfriend hates him because he's lonely. And he pays a family $250,000 to be his family for Christmas.
Yeah. As for his girlfriend, I don't want to say I would throw her out of an airplane. I would more jump out with the only parachute.
You would DB Cooper the parachute, never to be seen again?
I was going for like Temple of Doom, but yeah, DB Cooper works too. Take the money with me.
That's fair.
But like, it starts out with he's like, "Hey, let's go to Fiji for Christmas because this is 4 Christmases, so we're going to Fiji." And she's like, "Why don't you introduce me to your family? What's wrong?" And not in like a curious way, like, "Hey, what about your family?" Completely accusatory. And at the end, what's realized his dad left and his mom's dead. I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, "Oh, you want my fucking family? Fine, we're going to meet my mom. Take her to the grave and be like, there, say hi to my fucking mom."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
by the way, dead mom alert.
Horrible person.
Brad flying in off the top rope to smash that dead mom alert button.
Just elbowing it. Goodness gracious.
So
yeah, it blindsides us out of nowhere, kind of.
Yeah, and
it's used as like a big third act reveal, but it's a Christmas movie with a dead mom, so who gives a shit? Because every Christmas movie has a dead mom now because it's required by law. I believe it was passed in 1997. I want to say that the federal Christmas movie Dead Mom Act.
Yeah, before it was revealed, I was just assuming he was just an orphan, and that's why he wasn't talking about his family.
Yeah.
See, my assumption was that his family just hated his guts because, I mean, look at him.
Yeah,
that's worst.
Kind of what I thought, or I thought he hated his family's guts because he's a giant man-child. And the real angle. And the reveal was going to be that they were actually totally normal the whole time. Yeah, kind of.
That's kind of where I thought they were going to take it, but that's really not what we got. And yeah, like I said, the first third of the movie is pretty much all the juice the movie has, because the first third of that movie, it's Ben Affleck in this weirdly manic, desperate attempt to entertain people. But I also think it's that period in time in 2004 where I think he realized that people were starting to hate him.
Yeah, because this is right at Gigli and Jersey Girl time.
Yeah, exactly. This is if it was immediately post Jennifer Lopez. So Ben Affleck is kind of I mean, he's in depressed breakup mode, which, whatever. But still, this is that period in time when everyone hated Ben Affleck, and I think Ben Affleck was trying to get in on the joke. So he plays this weird, idiot man-child millionaire, and you can tell that he thinks he's being funny, and nobody else in the movie wants to play along with him.
You need to educate me. Does Benjamin Affleck usually do comedy?
See, that's the thing. He really only does comedy when he's working with Kevin Smith, because they're buddies, and Kevin Smith knows how to write for Ben Affleck. Otherwise, he's generally just this is the period of time where he was doing generic romantic comedies or trying to be an action hero, because this is also right after Daredevil.
Was he one of the clerks? Was he Dante?
No.
Okay.
He came in after that.
See, the only thing I know about Clerks is I did watch the animated series. I don't know anything about Benjamin Affleck or Kevin Smith other than the Clerks animated series and the Pones My Dick 24/7 tweets and jorts.
Okay, so hey,
Jinko jorts.
Random fact about the Clerks cartoon. Their plan for a season 2 was going to involve the King of Canada as a major character, and it was going to be played by Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Because in the world of the cartoon, Canada is basically an uninhabited wilderness. And he was going to be basically playing a caveman from Canada.
I see.
Yeah. But
that never came to fruition, though.
None of that ever happened. So,
R.I.P.
So let's go through our cast of characters here. Also, by the way, I need to point out the very first human being you see in this film is it's a very surprising one. It's Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, among other things, trying in
topic of the
vain,
rest of the movie.
yeah, trying in vain to wrap a Christmas present and doing very poorly at it. And
Yeah, it has that shitty like Merry fucking Christmas attitude, and all the movies that do this always start with the same fucking song.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, I associate this song with a like shitty. Doesn't Christmas fucking suck? Don't you fucking hate it? Like beginning montage to a movie. Those two things are intertwined in my brain.
It's like almost exactly the same like opening credits as Krampus, which kind of did the same thing, except it's like a slow motion brawl on Black Friday, but it's all set to kind of the same music. But here it's like a montage of people like preparing for Christmas, like wrapping presents and baking cookies and going to the store and buying things, all set to this music. But then the undertone is that everybody is fucking miserable.
And a grandma commits suicide.
It culminates in what I know a lot of people have like noted is like a extremely dark moment in the film where like a grandma makes like gingerbread men with like frowny faces and then sticks her head in the oven. And before you can even register whether or not you're supposed to laugh or think that's terrible, it like smash cuts to Ben Affleck trying to sell a board of executives on eggnog.
It's very 2004 in the worst possible way.
It really, really is.
It's very early aughts. Ugh.
And
ugh.
But honestly, his like ad pitch for eggnog is not that bad, if you ask me, because the pitch is basically, hey, we know you're going to use this to get drunk, so why not buy our version? Which, you know, fair. Completely fair.
I saw pumpkin spice eggnog earlier, and it made me want to fight somebody. Not even particular, just like we're just gonna fight now.
Duh.
Me versus you, this store.
Why, and why? Why and why? Eggnog's already perfect. Why would you ever taint it with something else? I do say this as somebody who mixed eggnog with coffee beer before, which was not a good idea.
I think it's just one of those just two things. I don't think you're supposed to actually drink it.
It's what's the word? It's kitschy and terrible in the way that like they know how to market to like Christmas weirdos like us.
So somebody will get it and drink it on the podcast.
Yep.
So John, take it away.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to bed.
I think we're all very grumpy and very tired.
We are. I'm so ready to just get on with my life. But we
okay,
we have a job to do.
I don't get paid. The food bank gets paid. The food bank has a job to do. Food bank, explain this movie. So, yeah, he has a girlfriend who she comes up very accusatorily when he gives her tickets to Fiji, just being like, why don't we spend it with family? Because that's what Christmas is. Because I'm a character in a Christmas movie. And she breaks up with him. He hunts down her therapist at the airport the next day. And
okay.
And that is, it's Bill Dauterive.
In a movie filled with the most psychotic scenes ever, this might be the most psychotic scene.
It's very bad.
Yeah, it's peak 2004. Just like, oh, it's jokes about the TSA. Cool.
Yeah.
But like he explains in like graphic detail that he found his ex-girlfriend's therapist by having his secretary. I don't even remember the convoluted like plot he did.
He had his secretary bribe her secretary.
That's right.
Or something like that.
Right. But it all culminates in like he's following Bill Dauterive through airport security with his family as they're going off on their Christmas vacation and begging this man for help. And Bill basically says, go to Hank's house. Hank knows what to do. No, he says
he gives him like some like it sounds like a kind of like armchair psychology advice.
He
Just
literally
like-
says he heard it on the radio.
Yeah, just write down a bunch of things that piss you off, go to somewhere meaningful to you, and then literally burn your problems.
Yeah, set it ablaze and throw it to the wind. So he drives 30 miles out of town, finds his childhood home, does this, and gets knocked out by James Gandolfini, everybody.
Hey, you're back. You were here last week.
The late great James Gandolfini. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Jonathan mentioned this off the podcast. I didn't even notice it. James Gandolfini was in The Last Boy Scout as one of the random thugs of the villain. And it just straight up did not register to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he's the thug that looked like James Gandolfini.
That makes me sound like I don't pay attention to these movies. And you know what? Maybe I don't, but I genuinely did not notice.
Okay, what was the point in the movie where you were just like, all right, how much time do I got left on this fucking thing?
About 30 minutes in, I think I started I was checking the progress bar on this bad boy pretty frequently. I think it was when they were going on the shopping trip or whatever.
For me, it was like the scene where they go and pick up a Christmas tree.
I got to squeaky stare before I was just like,
Out.
Can I still watch this if it's on triple speed? Will my internet speed let me?
Yeah.
And so verdict.
I watched it at 1.5 speed.
Okay.
I was just like, I'm gonna sit here, keep pausing this and not paying attention unless I run it fast enough where I have to watch it.
Right. So anyway, hey, this family that he's conned into letting him live with.
Yeah, he shows up at their house. It's James Gandolfini, Catherine O'Hara.
Holy shit! You mean Moira from Schitt's Creek was the mom in For Surviving Christmases? Whoa! I can't believe an actress had more than 2 roles. But yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm just I'm having my mind blown on the internet. I'm 14, and what is this? So yeah, it's James Gandolfini, it's Catherine O'Hara, their son, whose name I did not catch. I think his name's Brian.
His name's Brian. I wish I had a camera right now so you could see me tilting my head sideways like a dog at you.
So Brian, let's talk about the son for a second. Brian pretty much exists to serve up a bad running masturbation joke the entire movie, right? That's all he's there for because it's 2004.
Yeah, because what do teenage boys do on the internet in 2004?
Play Counter-Strike 1.5.
Yeah.
Play CSGO. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Download bootleg anime. Oh wait, that was me in 2004.
What do you download?
One Piece, Chobits. I don't know.
I got Cowboy Bebop and called it good.
Yeah, you probably came out better in the long run.
I didn't know you could download things that weren't music in 2004, so don't look at me. Okay.
Oh yeah, hey guys, remember Emule?
No.
It was just another one of those things like Kazaa and LimeWire. It was like the 4th string.
You know what we should really talk about, though? We're talking about Kazaa and LimeWire is the really, really great, .executable virus files that were ubiquitous on those services.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. You had to be careful or just not a fucking idiot if you're using services.
For those of you not in the know, way back when, with public file sharing services, a lot of people would name viruses just the name of song, whatever popular song. Let's say you're on the internet and you want to search Weird Al Yankovic's Bad Hair Day. Somebody would put Weird Al Yankovic Bad Hair Day.exe as one of the files available for download. And if you were a dumb enough rube, you would download it and run it and then infect your computer with a virus.
Yeah, it's bad enough that if you were looking for parody songs in 2004, everything was by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, so bad.
Because dum-dums don't know any better.
Yeah.
But also, you were very susceptible to viruses if you were not at least a little computer savvy.
Yeah, and if you're about 10 years younger than us, just replace Weird Al with Jonathan Colton, and you know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Basically. My preferred downloading service was called MyTunes. Did you guys ever use MyTunes?
Never heard of this.
Maple MyTunes.
Maple MyTunes.
I discovered this in college. It was a program where if you were linked up to a LAN network.
Oh, shit. I did use this in college.
You could look at every other iTunes account on that LAN network and download whatever you wanted.
Oh, that was awesome. I totally forgot about that.
And for a college student who lives in a dorm with 100 other college students, it was fucking amazing.
Yeah. No, I remember that. I forgot all about MyTunes.
I downloaded so much shit and then had to redo all the metadata because nobody knew what they were doing.
Oh, it was the worst. But it was also the best. But it was also the worst.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Very much, yes.
I will say I am impressed with whoever decorated the set for the kids' room. They did a pretty good job of music selection.
They did repeat.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Tenacious D, I believe, was front and center.
I saw Tenacious D, Mudvayne, the Helicopters, New Bomb Turks.
Oh yeah, I did see the New Bomb Turks. They did repeat stickers a couple places, but hey, you get a pack of stickers, you got to make it work for the set dressing.
That's right. You do what you got to do.
And hey, maybe the kid had two surf company stickers, and he needed to put one on his computer and one on his door. You never know.
He lives in a Chicago suburb. Where the fuck is he going surfing? He can put it on a surfboard.
Oh, there's a Ron John surf shop in the middle of Gary, Indiana, I guess. Right? No?
It's like the fucking people around here would live 8 hours from the fucking shore. They still have like Salt Life stickers on everything.
Yeah. I don't get it. So
this movie.
This fucking movie.
All right. Let me try to kick this into gear a little bit.
So yeah, he goes back to his family home and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing for Christmas. I will literally pay you guys $250,000 if you just help me try to recapture my like lost childhood and have a good old fashioned Christmas down on the farm.
Right. And they are only amenable to this because he's paying them a shitload of money. Otherwise, they could care less about this person. And
correct. And the dad's James Gandolfini is kind of the only one on board with it at all.
Well, he's only on board with it because money. Everybody else
right. But everybody else is like, why would you even do this for the money, basically? Like, everybody else is griping and groaning the entire time.
But they're still playing along.
Yeah, because of the money. Because of the money. Well, the son doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, I guess not. And also, like, when their adult daughter, Christina Applegate, comes home, she really, like, puts the screws to him and tries to turn the whole scheme inside out for fun.
I wonder if do they end up falling in love? Do they end up having a whirlwind, will they, won't they romance with a couple misunderstandings, but at the end, all truth is laid bare and that they end up getting together?
Wait. No, she gets killed by a mugger about 40 minutes through the movie. It's really fucked up.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that just be a total
that would
breath
be
of fresh air?
That would be a scene in the movie that this should have been if this movie had any teeth at all. But no, Bradford, hang on a minute. Are you telling me that this jaded big city millionaire has to go back down to the small town where he grew up?
Fuck you. I'm not letting you finish this bit. I wish I had a fucking whistle right now so I could just like call a pilly, throw a fucking flag.
And falls in love with a small town girl in a red sweater who teaches him the true meaning of Christmas. Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me this is a Hallmark movie in disguise? Because it sounds like you're telling me this is a Hallmark movie in disguise.
Well,
if the shoe fits.
Yes, it kind of is. Oh.
The movie
I got some fucking backfield in motion for you.
The movie maintains this like weird kayfabe for like 20 minutes that it's going to be this like dark, edgy, mean-spirited comedy.
And then it turns into fucking Elf.
And yeah, and then as soon as Christina Applegate shows up, it turns into fucking Elf.
So here is my primary thesis about Surviving Christmas.
Okay.
It is Elf with the serial numbers filed off. A man-child forces himself on a family that doesn't want him, and eventually ends up melting their hearts and teaching them the true meaning of Christmas, while they have some level of growth with discovering their past, or at least coming to reckoning with their true past and their original lineage. It's Elf. Except instead of magic, it's money. And the politics of, or like the central thesis of this movie is worse because a rich guy just shows up and everything becomes magically better eventually.
Bradford,
even though he
if
annoys
I didn't know
everybody.
any better, I'd say that you are alleging that Christmas movies are formulaic bullshit.
Well, yes, I am, but I'm saying this one is a specific kind of formulaic bullshit where it hews so closely to the Elf formula. And what year was Elf? Remind me.
2003.
Which was when this movie was originally going to come out.
And also,
I wonder if it was held back for any sort of reason.
It was held back for paycheck.
Oh, yeah?
You can't have two Ben Affleck movies in theater at the same time. They just won't do.
Oh,
That's too
Paycheck is a movie?
Paycheck
Yes.
is the name of a film.
Oh, I thought you were saying somebody held it back to get more money.
Paycheck
Shows
is
you how
the
much I
film
know.
where Ben Affleck got paid a lot of money to star in a shitty action movie nobody remembers.
Yeah, Reindeer Games. We watched it.
Very fitting. Oh, wait, was Benjamin Affleck in Reindeer Games?
I'm just confused, Brad.
Yes, Brad. Yes, he was.
So I guess I have seen a Ben Affleck movie before this.
I would say you have, yes.
There you go.
Why have you seen Reindeer Games?
Because we watched it for this podcast.
You weren't on that episode. That was like episode 2.
Oh, I must have watched it. I think that's when I was very closely following. I was basically stalking all of you and practicing for my eventual.
I get it. Brad was the first fan who actually follows along with us as we record the show.
Yes,
that's kind of cute. See, folks, you too can join us on the show one day if you do your homework.
Don't lie to the good listeners at home.
Yeah, I know. We don't even do our own homework. What are you talking about? I mean, we're at the point now where we're staring down the barrel of the last hour of this movie, and there's nothing to talk about.
I mean, this follows that standard like save the cat bullshit structure, but the like all is lost moment is like an hour and 15 minutes into this hour and a half movie.
Yeah, and the day is saved literally 5 minutes later.
So everybody's tired of his bullshit. The mom and dad were splitting up before he even showed up at the house.
Right.
He orders the mom a photo shoot, which is okay, fine.
She does like a sexy photo shoot with a photographer played by fucking Udo Kier.
Yeah. What happens is he tells them both like, "Hey, I'm giving you guys a shitload of money. What's something you've wanted to do?"
And the dad buys a muscle car.
He buys his youth back. He buys his teenage car, which I think was it a Chevelle?
You could say literally any word, and I would believe that was a car, John.
He buys a Studebaker.
Okay. It could be a souped up Ford Pinto for all I know. I don't know these things.
I got John's car joke, but only because of the Great Muppet Caper.
Okay, finally a joke goes over my head. Great.
Yeah, and then Captain O'Hara goes and gets like some glamour shots taken, which
ends up on a porn site.
Yeah, turned to be porn, I guess.
It ends up on peggysfeet.com.
Oh yeah.
But then then Drew, Ben Affleck's character's name is Drew. We're like an hour into this podcast and we're finally saying this. But Drew takes Alicia, Christina Applegate, out, and he's like daring her to have fun basically by going sledding. And he takes her on a helicopter ride to basically like a ski slope where they take a regular boring like wooden toboggan down a like triple diamond Widowmaker fucking.
Yeah, is this the same fucking hill they go sledding down on a Christmas vacation? Where the fuck are these mountains of Chicago?
I don't know. It must be the same mountain that John Cusack skis down in Better Off Dead, because what the fuck, man. But there then follows this horrifying action sequence where they're sledding down this mountain and basically get themselves killed. And when I say killed, that's code for, oh, Alicia has a cold.
That's you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Boris Johnson has COVID-19.
And they start falling in love because they are characters in this movie that are of similar ages. And that's it.
They're the two hot young romantic leads, and of course they do. But then, so she, man, I don't know. He does a big dramatic gesture for her that she kind of hates
because he just overdoes it.
He just overdoes it, where he like restages her old Christmas pageant on an ice rink.
He like already ziffs her.
Yeah, and like the production on this is kind of great, because like he also has produced this like life-size plastic representation of her with like a horror face, and of course she hates it. But oh hey, I forgot to mention the best character in the film,
Pop Pop.
Yeah, Pop Pop, whose actual name is Doodah, whose actual name I forget because he's not anybody's Pop Pop.
Some actor he hired.
So some random old grandpa man actor he hired that just wanders into the house and says, "Oh yeah, I'm his grandpa."
I mean, Doodah
has to go along with it.
Doodah is the best character in the film, and then fittingly, Doodah's understudy is the second best character in the film.
Yes, absolutely. And Doodah's understudy has the best line in this or any Christmas film that I will recite to anyone until the day I die, where everything starts going sideways with Drew's girlfriend and her parents, and they're meeting his quote unquote real parents. And everything, goes cockeyed, because of course it does. And then understudy Doodah just says, "Yuletide a bitch, ain't it?" And
it's okay.
Walks out
it's a good line.
It's fine.
I'll give it that.
But yeah, the big dramatic like turn in the third act is like the most sitcom-y garbage I think you could come up with. And they almost certainly just watched Nick at Night and said, "Hey, let's do a sitcom thing at the end of this movie."
Can you tell how over this film we all are? Like, we have been since the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, we could literally be describing the plots of like 6 different sitcoms right now. You wouldn't know.
Here's the bad thing, too. Up until, I don't know, not even halfway, I was considering this film... I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, but it just doesn't cash in on anything. Yeah, it hedges everything so much.
Yeah, so basically, bad. Cousin Larry schedules 2 dates at the same time, but it's also the same night that the Rippers are playing, so he has to be there too.
And the prom's tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Urkel turns into Stefan, so he can't play bass. It's just a huge fucking mess.
And then Drew actually accidentally shows back up at the house dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire by mistake. It's ridiculous.
Okay, no, for real though, what happens is Drew sends his ex-girlfriend a Cartier bracelet, and I guess this is enough of a gesture for an empty rich person that they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I love it." And then she calls him and he says that he's with his family, who he has just ended the contract with. He has to beg them. She reveals that she's on her way over. And in fact, oh, wait, I'm outside. I'm in your driveway. He has to beg them to resume the act by paying them more money. Meanwhile, he has fallen in love with Christina Applegate. And can you blame him? No. He has sparked a romance with Christina Applegate. However, the old girlfriend is here and she is making amends and she is making advances, and of course Christina sees this. What is the character's name? I honestly couldn't tell you if you put a gun to my head.
Drew?
No,
Alicia.
Christina's Alicia.
Alicia
sees this, of course, and she's
They're all
incensed
dreaming
and blows up the situation.
Or specifically, she blows up the situation by making it worse by play acting the fact that she is in fact Drew's sister.
Yes.
So that
and then there's a whole incest joke angle going on.
Yes.
And then it's revealed that ex-girlfriend's family has a lot of problems too, and they all speed off. And everybody goes their separate ways because everybody's pissed off at everybody else. And then because if it's a Christmas movie, Drew goes and makes amends with everybody, and they all go to Pop Pop's, Peepaws, D-Daws, whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's one of the
Christmas
few
play
things the movie does continuity. When Dudov first shows up, he gives them all tickets to his production of Christmas Carol that he's in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they all just basically decide to go independently of each other because, like, we all got tickets.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing better to do right now.
It's another Christmas movie happenstance bullshit.
Yeah,
Whatever.
and that's where it's kind of the movie stops being like slapstick dog shit for long enough to get serious. And it's like, man, if you had have kept up this, if the entire movie had the tone of the last like 10, 15 minutes of it, it would have been passable to all right.
Yeah. But instead we got masturbation and incest jokes for 45 minutes.
Yep.
I think the ending. So, okay, welcome to Santa's Workshop, everybody. We're going to manhandle this film into something resembling a coherent.
Well, let's go after the ending real quick. So after all the shit falls apart, Christine Applegate asks him, like, so what the fuck is the deal with your family that you want to just try to make up a new one? And he's like, yeah, my dad walked out when I was like 4 on Christmas Day. He went to get some smokes and never came back. And his mom worked double shifts at a diner every Christmas just to make ends meet. So every Christmas he went to the diner and had a big stack of pancakes, and Merry Christmas. That was his Christmas.
And then his mom died when he was in college.
Aruka.
Dead mom alert. Aruka.
There you have it, folks.
But in the end, they get back together. The family's back together, and then they become a real family because he and Christina Applegate are
an item.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last shot is they're all at the diner, including Brian with the random girl that they sat next to at the play, which I thought was a nice touch.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who has one speaking line? It's like a featured extra.
Yeah, and the line is basically like, "Hey, shut up. We're at a play."
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, so hey, let's discuss real quick, like what could have happened? What could they have done to make this more coherent, more sensible? And I want to start by saying the ending could have worked if the beginning and the middle had the same like tone to them, you know? Like if they kept that same like aggressively dark like tone at the beginning where Ben Affleck is just a real piece of shit and this family just plain hates his guts, and they really like dig that in a lot more, I feel like the ending would make sense with the rest of the film, because that middle part is just so bland and sitcom-y.
Yeah, you need, in my opinion, a slightly bigger family to play off of.
Yeah.
Like you need to have like 4 or 5 siblings so you can like bounce in between them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question to you, and this is more a question about the film as it is. Nobody really learns anything, do they?
No, like the resolution is that Catherine O'Hara and James Gandolfini realize they don't really hate each other that much. They might as well stay together.
And the money certainly helps.
Brian learns to talk to a girl with his mouth.
And then, Christina Applegate and Ben Affleck, like, they don't really learn any, like, material lessons about life, though. They're just like, well, you're a rich, dumb asshole, but I like you, so stick around.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't, like, learn to tone it down or anything, either.
No, he doesn't learn to appreciate Christmas or family or any of that stuff. It's just two people who happen to be broken in the same way kind of sort of find each other.
Yeah, it's just more elf shit. It's just, I've annoyed you enough that you like me now.
Yes.
Very 2004.
Yeah. And for a movie that's... Man, this movie is just... There's just no jokes in this movie worth talking about. So like it's hard for me to even call this a comedy, except for the fact that like Tom Kenny fucks up a present and an old lady tries to kill herself. Other than that, there's really no funny here to call this a comedy.
Hey, so here's a tangent. Remember the episode of Doug where Judy tried to put on a performance for her new boyfriend, where Doug had to be the waiter?
Kinda.
The bomb and the lasagna?
Go on.
That's it. Just now I'm talking about Doug. If you need me, call me on the sponge.
All right. I mean, okay. This is the pitfall that I was afraid we were going to fall into.
Wait. Honestly, I think probably whoever wrote this fucking movie watched that episode of Doug like a week beforehand. Because what happens is Judy invites her boyfriend over for dinner because Judy's a drama student. Everything has to be super dramatic. So she invents a story for her family, which doesn't include Doug in it. So Doug has to be the waiter. And Doug gets annoyed and bored, and he turns it into a secret agent spy thing where there's a bomb in the lasagna.
I remember this one, yeah. Now we're just stuck reminiscing about old. Is the pitfall you were worried about we would fall into reminiscing about old episodes of Doug, Joe?
No, that is a welcome development. The pitfall that I was worried about us falling into is the one we've been trying to claw ourselves out of for the last half hour, because there's literally nothing worth talking about with this movie.
Because this movie is a black hole of everything.
It is a black hole of joy and comedy and holiday cheer. And I understand now why this has a 7% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Guys, this movie isn't even like I called this from the drop before we even watched this movie. This movie was made in 2004. It has a lot of stars in it. This movie's not going to be so bad it's good. It's just going to be bad and forgettable.
I was hoping for something we could just get really just riled up about, like Christmas with the Cranks, or something that's just fun to yell at. This just manages to fall flat on its fucking face.
It's like, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it has all of the energy of like a community theater production of a real movie.
Of A Christmas Carol?
Of A Christmas Carol. That's what they did. That's what they did with this movie. Brad, you clocked it. I mean, you absolutely clocked it.
It's Elf.
I don't know what else we have to talk about with this, unless there's something huge that I'm missing.
It's Elf, yet somehow more mediocre and forgettable.
Yeah, because
it's Elf with the serial numbers filed off.
Yeah, it's black market Elf.
It's the version of Elf that showed up on Redbox about 6 months after Elf's theatrical release, but before Elf got a DVD release.
It's the knockoff called The Elf.
Yes.
Or rather just Alf. No, we can't do that either. Damn it. Man, if Ben Affleck played Alf, wouldn't that be great?
Affleck Lifeform?
No.
John, what did you say?
Affleck Lifeform, ALF?
If it was just Ben Affleck living with a random family hiding out from the government, because if the government found Ben Affleck, they would hack him to pieces.
And then there's a German follow-up movie where the government just kills Alf.
Then we could do Alf's Special Christmas, where Ben Affleck has to pretend to be a doctor and deliver a baby in an elevator.
And then comfort a terminally ill child. Oh, God.
And also stop an old man from killing himself.
Yeah, what a rickroll and right. You weren't here for Elf's Special Christmas, John.
Oh, God, I'm glad.
Literally everything we've just said happened in an episode of Alf, John.
It was probably the most maudlin thing we've watched on this show, and we've watched the Christmas Shoes trilogy, which a listener informed us there's a fourth one.
Hey, Brad, there's a fifth.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We talked about this, didn't we?
Oh, God, no, there's 5 yet. And there's 19 books in this series, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 have been made into fucking movies. But yeah, credits to that listener, fuck you for reminding us. We were perfectly happy for getting that.
Ignorance is bliss, but not on this show.
Where were we on this?
We were about to jump to the crankometer because there's literally nothing else worth talking about.
Thank you.
It's the movie almost could have had something if it didn't stop to be just slapstick man-child bullshit, but it does. So is not.
Yeah, and a lot of the jokes, quote unquote jokes, amount to just Ben Affleck asking Catherine O'Hara to make him the hot chocolate that he made as a kid. But no, my mom puts many marshmallows in my hot chocolate. So then she takes the big marshmallows and cuts them up with a butcher knife. Like, ha 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 ha.
I like how you both said that in like Powered by the Cheat Homestar voice.
Exactly. that was exactly what I was going for. Thank you, John.
Hey, James Gandolfini, I need to be kicked in the face.
I will do it. I will do it 9 times. Pew, 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 pew. Oh no!
Right.
Oh no! You're doing a hip hop dance on my face.
Well, okay, so we've workshopped this and discovered that Surviving Christmas works best as an Alf ripoff, but also be a Homestar cartoon.
Yeah, that's there.
Hey, Drew, you just jumped over some of my buses.
Here, dude, I'll have a trophy.
Here, Dordo, have another trophy.
3 trophies for the doodah.
Man, isn't Homestar great, everybody?
Oh, it's just the best.
Okay, so we're done.
Right.
We're super.
I think we've all
done.
cheered ourselves up a lot about after the end of this slog, though.
That's the power of Homestar, and like we're on the Zoom call right now, and I'm looking at Jonathan's avatar. It's just a picture of Senior Card Gauge. Excuse me, Reggie Toupee. I'm sorry.
No joke. If MagFest ever happens again, I think I'm just going to cosplay as Senior Card Gauge because I've become dumpy and old enough to pull it off. Like I've got the balding and the beer gut going on. It's perfect. I'm just going to be Senior Card Gauge for 3 days. And just drag around a plastic bag of shit.
Just wear dead animals on your knees for no reason.
Just get in line behind everybody just eating chocolate bars in their ears.
Yeah.
Okay, back to business. The crankometer, folks. Let's do this. Let's.
You still can't get it out of your head, can you?
No,
We're gonna go over. I'll take over. We're gonna go over the crankometer. The crankometer is our patented rating system where we rate it both in terms of quality and Christmasity. We have an XY axis. So gentle, friends. How Christmassy is this movie?
As much as I hated it, I don't think well, no, you know what? I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
It's pretty Christmassy. I feel like your complaints about quality are going to fall more on the quality axis.
Yeah. I mean, it's Christmassy in the sense that, like, yeah, sure, going home for the holidays, being with family. It at least acknowledges that that's kind of an important part of the Christmas season. But it also, I think, it gets at the idea that for some people, that's not an option, and those people have feelings too. So I'm actually okay with that as far as it's like a representation of the holidays. So I'm not going to give this a negative number.
No, I think it deserves a positive number. It's fairly Christmassy. It has a massive licensed soundtrack that it doesn't abuse all too much, except for in the beginning when we talked about that use of the most wonderful time of the year.
Yes.
Maybe like a 2. I will say this, and I think I've said this on previous episodes. Going to family's place in Christmas in the Midwest has a specific feel to it. I feel like they did that a fair amount of justice. Not to the level of like A Christmas Story or some other stuff, but it feels kind of like hometown Christmassy a little bit. Chicago-y Christmassy.
Yeah, I get that. It's got that. It's definitely got like a real. It nails sort of the suburban vibe, I guess. Which even that I kind of hesitate to say is like a plus because it's just. I don't know.
Okay. Maybe a 1 or a 2.
On a weird note, they say it takes place in Lincolnwood, which Lincolnwood is a real Chicago suburb, but this takes place in Lincoln Space Wood, and the suburb is Lincolnwood, one word.
Maybe they couldn't get
weird fucking detail to get wrong. Like you're gonna have to go to the trouble of picking like a Chicago suburb that you have to look up on a map to know that it exists, or you're gonna fucking spell it wrong.
It could be that they couldn't get permission from the real Lincolnwood. I don't know.
It's a stylized fantasy version of a real place. I don't know. Okay,
John, you need to come up with a Christmasity score here, bud.
All right. So what do we got so far?
I gave it a 2.
I will second Bradford and say a 2.
All right. So it does have a general Christmas message of just like, hey, have a Christmas. It's cool. Family's cool, but also not family's cool.
You could say that again.
No, you can just copy and paste it on the track. It's fine. I'm good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to give this negative points. I don't see any reason to give it too many good points either, though.
Yeah,
I'm
there with you.
It inches across the finish line in terms of like doing Christmassy things.
Yeah, I'll say 1 or 2. I'd be fine with either one of those.
Okay.
So
well, then
2. There you go.
Yeah, let's just say 2. It's perfectly okay as far as its use of the holidays and what they're all about, and I don't think we have any quarrel with that. But then there's the y-axis, which is the quality quotient, and I feel like we're either all in agreement or we're going to have a big fist fight. But gentlemen,
no, I think we're all in wicked agreement, bro.
Is this a nat -5?
Oh,
do we even have to qualify it? Is this worse than Christmas with the Cranks?
Yes. Did we go? We went back and ranked Christmas with the Cranks at the end of the first year, didn't we?
Christmas with the Cranks on our original Crankometer from 2015, guys. It scored a +2 on the Christmas scale and a -3 on the quality scale.
So this has got to be like a 4.
Yeah, I think we probably. Going back to right now, why would I give that movie a -3 instead of -5? It's like, Dan Aykroyd is just funny looking. Like it's just he's fun to watch exist.
The only thing that I'll say in this movie's favor over Christmas with the Cranks is that movie was like nonstop shrill from beginning to end, and I wanted to kill myself. This one is not shrill, but I did want to kill myself.
It's just bland, dishwater, depressing garbage.
I almost want to say that's the point in Christmas with the Cranks' favor, because Christmas with the Cranks knows what it's doing and just sticks to its shitty, terrible guns.
Whereas this tries to have it both ways.
Okay, that's a fair point, and I'll concede that.
But on the other hand, it's not like, I don't know. But a -5 feels. I don't know.
That's the thing, though, because like, do we reward badness or do we punish mediocrity? Like,
we'll give it a -4. We'll give understudy Duda the point.
So
I can live with that.
Does that mean a -2, a +2, -4, and then
yes,
understudy Duda gets his own score?
No, he brings it from a -5 to a -4.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Like, this isn't the worst garbage that I've ever watched, but it's still really bad garbage that I'll never want to watch again. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, no question there. So yeah, this is on our patented Crankometer. This score is a +2, -4. So, guys, we're coming up on the end of the year here, and our dance card is looking pretty full for Christmas. I don't really know how to segue out of that sentence, but I will say that we got July at Christmas just around the corner.
Do you want to tell us what movie we're watching on air? Give a little taste to the viewers/listeners, because nobody's viewing this because it's not a visual medium.
Brett, be honest. Are you asking me because you forgot?
Yes.
Okay. Well, next time on the podcast, folks, we are revisiting one of our favorite franchises here on Christmas Creeps. We are bringing you the one and only Die Hard film that's set at the 4th of July. It is, in fact, Live Free or Die Hard.
Okay. All right. Now I remember.
But yeah, guys, so this is the last time we will meet until Christmas. I hope everybody out there has a fun and safe holiday season. I hope everybody gets to watch some good Christmas movies for once, because Lord knows that ain't happening for us.
I'm just going to watch Christmas Vacation again. That's what I do.
Oh, yeah. I've already watched Christmas Vacation this season, so at least 2 more times before the holidays are out.
It's still a reason to keep going. Hip, hip, hooray for Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, really. If the election had turned out differently, we might have done another episode on Christmas Vacation.
Just Christmas Vacation again.
Yes.
Redux. Because we're worth it.
The Bradford edition.
Oh.
The Bradford exchange. So yeah, that's Christmas Creeps, folks, for December of 2020. We got one more in the can for you. We're not in the can. We haven't done it yet, but it's coming down the pipe Christmas Day. So don't miss that. And if you have any questions or comments, you can send those to us at xmascreeps@gmail.com or tweet at us at Christmas Creeps on Twitter. I got back on Instagram recently, so I will be posting Christmas stuff on there as I see fit. We're on Facebook if you want to try to use that, but we generally don't. And all I can say after that is like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the fun stuff that podcasts tell you to do. If you're watching us on YouTube for some strange reason, smash that like button and ring that bell. And yeah,
just be honest. You've always just wanted to say that.
Smash that like button and ring that bell. You know I have.
Thank you so much for listening. We know there's a lot of stuff out there right now. A lot of shows to watch, a lot of games to play, a lot of books to read. We really appreciate you listening to these 3 jabronis talk about a Christmas movie for an hour.
Listen, I know there are real Christmas podcasts out there that you could be listening to, but you're listening to us, and I love you for that.
Yes. Thank you for all of your reviews, all of your comments, all your emails. We love all of them so much.
We may or may not actually get to listen to requests in the new year. That's one of the things that one of my New Year's resolutions is I want us to do more listener requests, because we are very bad at that.
So if you want us to watch some awful piece of garbage, get it on in, and then we'll hate you forever. And by hate you forever, I mean love you forever. And by love you forever, I mean hate you forever.
And if you want to Venmo me $5 to grease those wheels, hey, I'm not going to say no.
That's gonna get you the VIP fast pass, or what is the Universal Studios one called, where you just get to skip the line? I forget.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's Christmas Creeps, folks. We have one more in the hopper for Christmas Day, and then it's on to 2021, and I can't believe I'm saying those numbers.
Goodness gracious. 6 years has it been?
6 years, folks. The show must go on. So for Christmas Creeps, I'm Joseph Wade.
I'm Bradford.
I'm sad that I'm flying.
Yuletide a bitch, ain't it?
Good night, everybody.
Winter snow, as in summer's brightest glow. Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in woodland beauty. That was great. That was really good.
Yeah, that was yeah.